Talk about Porzingis being 19 with the Knicks, and now he's a little older and he's able to do some different things. That was the same case with Brad Millard. Brad Millard showed up as a freshman at 7'2". I remember in practice, there were different times where people were blocking his shot. Yeah, he's 7 feet, but if you're not really jumping, then someone can get a hand on it, right? And you thinking, how can I block a dude who's 7'2"? That's crazy. I should not be able to block that dude's shot at 6'4", 6'5". That was his freshman year. He was figuring it out. His sophomore year at St. Mary's, 96, 97, he came back and he finally realized how tall he was and how big he was. I'm telling you, that year, nobody blocked his shot. Nobody contested his shot because he was like, I'm dunking everything. Before, whatever was a little layup or a little turnaround thing, he was like, nah. St. Mary's won the WCC, went to the NC2As, played against Wake Forest and Tim Duncan in the first game. Unfortunately, they lost, but he gave Tim Duncan fits because Tim Duncan's only 6'10". He would get annoyed with people asking him how tall he was. And at times he was not a nice guy. Like people, we'd be in the airport and look, we had Brad Millard at 7'2". We had Eric Schrader at 6'9". We had AJ Rollins coming in at 6'7". All these dudes coming in at different heights. And we're in the airport and people would come up to him in amazement and be like, how tall are you? And when you've been getting that question your whole life, at some point you just get annoyed. I remember one time we're at the airport and I forget who it was, some lady or some kid, not saying hi or how you doing or anything, just like, how tall are you? And Brad's like, leave me alone. He was like, get away from me. Right. And they were just like,
He talked like a giant.
dude, he deeply, leave me alone, get away from me. Right. And they were just like, oh my God, okay. And they walk off. Right. And I go to him as a senior and I go, yo, Brad, check it out, man. I get that you're annoyed. He's like, I'm just sick of it, Reg. Everyone's asking me what size shoe I wear, how tall I am. And for the record, his shoe size, we had a contract with Nike. His shoe size was 22 6E. He wore size 22 6Es for width. So I was like, look, I'm going to do you a favor. I was like, I'm going to do you a solid. I will answer the questions for you as a representative. That way you can maintain some level of integrity, right? Instead of like shitting on people. If somebody would come up and ask a question, they'd be like, how tall are you? Then I'd be like, well, actually, he's 7'2". And they go, whoa, really? And so they ask him, and then I answer the question, and then they look at me, and then he could walk off without being
You're like
an asshole.
you're like the Giants interpreter.
Yeah, really.